What's up, guys? So, you never see my face, but it's Matt, MVM397. So I want to do a quick little word on commissions, real quick. It's really not a gripe. It's more of a comment. So I've been doing commissions now for probably a good 6 years now. I think my first one was probably actually longer than that. My first one was the Zacus Vi, and that was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So ever since then, I've been pretty steadily doing commissions. I don't think there has been a time where I haven't had a commission on my bench. This Sinanju I'm working on right now is for the same client that bought the Jagdauga. He bought the GM Sniper I did. He paid for the Kshatriya I did last year. He did the Goof Custom, and he bought my first Sazabi for Ka I did. It was like the purplish frame, or the white frame with the purplish and gray armor. That was actually built 3 years ago. So he contacted me on Facebook when he saw that video and said, "Hey, do you ever sell your kits?" I'm like, yeah, of course. So he bought it from me. He got it, and he was really impressed. And he sent me another kit, and then he's like, "I'll have you do more." So he kept sending me stuff to do, and actually, he prepaid for this is the Sinanju I'm working right now. He in the Jagdauga and the 172nd Sazabi, which I have under my desk. So he paid up front for those 3 builds, and he's been keeping me busy for about 3 years now. I've been building steadily for him for 3 years, and by the time he's done, I think he'll have 7 pieces for me, 7 or 8. Let me see. Sazabi, Goof Custom, Kshatriya, Jagdauga, GM Sniper, Sinanju, and Sazabi. He did send me a 148 Hainu, which I have under my desk also, and if he has me do that, that'll be 8 pieces from one client, which is fabulous. And I charge him $10 an hour for my time. So I get a lot of requests for commissions. I get a lot of, "Hey, how much do you charge to build? Would you charge me to build something?" And I explain my pricing is $10 an hour plus supplies plus final shipping back to you, and that includes me building it, painting it, any color scheme you want. The more details you want in it, the longer it's going to take me to do. The Sinanju I'll have, I'm not sure what I quoted him, but I'll have 175 to 200 hours into this when I'm done. Now he's already paid for it, so I'm not like the kind, hey, it's going to take me extra $30, 30 hours, I need another $300 to do it. Basically, once I quote you the price, that's what it is. I'm not going to keep racking up the time. But when I get people who's like, "Oh man, your work is awesome, but that's like really expensive," I'm like, you know what, $10 an hour, you can make that at McDonald's flipping burgers. This is something that takes a lot of time. I have a full-time job. I have a family, so I build. During the weekdays, if there's nothing going on, I'm up here in my work area from 8 o'clock till midnight, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, putting in 4 or 5 hours every night. I build every night. On the weekends, if we have nothing going on with the family, I'm building. This past holiday, I played catch up on Sinanju. I worked on it for a while. I was getting frustrated. I put it aside. And another thing about this client, he's really cool. I have one rule with commissions, and there's no deadline. If you give me a deadline, you need to find someone else, because I can't promise that you'll have your kit in 3 weeks. There's just no way I can promise that. So as long as you're okay with that, feel free to hire me. But he's like, take your time and no hurry. Actually, he hasn't received a kit for me in almost 2 years. I have them. They're all done. They're here. I have his Kshatriya, I have his GM Sniper, and I have his Jagdauga. They're all in the box right behind me. He was supposed to pick them up at Wonderfest, but he couldn't make it. So he knows I have them, and he's seen pictures. But anyway, back to what I was kind of talking about is pricing. And actually, this is an announcement too, that as of this year, I'm raising my price to $12.50 an hour. So be prepared. So if you want to hire me to do something, it's $12.50 an hour for my time. So if Sazabi for Ka out of the box takes me 70 hours to do, straight up. That's just snipping it, sanding all the nubs off, pre-building it, priming it, painting, decals, top coating. That's 70 hours, and that's if I don't do anything else to it. If you want all the balls and beads and everything else, add another 10, 15 hours to it. So right there, that's like a $900 bill easily, just for me to do that. but I put the time in, I put the effort in, and I've been, I haven't had any complaints. I get a lot of compliments on my work. I think it stands for itself. A lot of people tell me I'm one of the best. I don't know if I would go that far. I have a lot to learn. There's always stuff to learn. I'm always kind of tweaking the way I do things to make it better. Like I said on one of my previous videos, like the cleanup on this kit is the best I've ever done on a kit. I don't know what it is. I just kind of took that extra effort to make sure I got all the little imperfections out of it, and it looks, these pieces look fabulous. I mean, there isn't a, defect in the resin, except for in the back where you're not going to see it. But as far as where the parts that you're going to see, it's flawless. It looks good. So if you're asking me to do something, just be prepared that, mass graded kit's going to cost you probably $600 at least to build. The fastest I've ever done a build, it was a master grade strike. I think like the first strike, I think I did it in 24 hours. It's an easy kit. I literally was able to snap it, build it, paint it in 24 hours. I started in the morning and I had it done by the next morning. That one you can get done for about $300. So if you want me to build something, I'm more happy to do it. I'd say I get probably, just in the past few weeks, I probably received a half a dozen requests for commissions. And now those are starting to get into the figure world because I started to build figures. And I've only done, altogether, like I've done less than a dozen figures. But already I'm making a name for myself in the figure building community, or figure painting community, from the little bit of work I've done. So I posted the picture of my little Joker ornament I did. And right from that, I got like 3 people asking me how much it would cost to paint something, a figure. Now, pricing on those is a little different. I found out that basically people charge a base price depending on the size of the figure, and it's not like an hourly rate. I know of probably 2 or 3 guys that paint full time, and all they do are figures. They paint 60 figures a year, so they're cranking them out, 1, 2 a week. And one guy I met at Wonderfest, I think he said he makes about $60,000 a year, but he cranks out 60 kits a year. So he's, on average, he's billing $1,000 per paint job, which to me is, on some of the pieces I've seen him done, it seems low, but, he knows what he's doing. He can crank them out. So, look, I put the time in. I spent a lot of time. I try to do the best I can on every project. Every time I've delivered a commissioned kit, I've had nothing but rave reviews. So if you ask me to quote you a price and you're surprised that it's 150 hours for a 1/60th whatever, especially a resin kit, don't come back and say, wow, I thought it'd be like $300, because to me that's insulting. I can get it in primer. It costs you $300 to get in primer. I had a guy last year wanted me to build them a 1/100th G Systems Zabi. So it's like the 1/72nd just scaled down to 1/100th, and that's actually one of their hardest kits to build because it's so small, and it's not that it's small, but all the pieces are small, and it's a ton of pieces. And I quoted him. I think I quoted him like 250 hours. He's like, "Whoa, that's crazy." He's like, "What could you do for 1,000?" I told him I'd prep it. Like, I'll get in primer for you for $1,000, and that's as far as I'll take it. So, I think the people that are, this client in particular I've been building for, he understands the time I put in. He appreciates it. People who can afford it, more power to you. I'm happy to build for you. I'll build anything. I don't have I only build Gundams. I've built Gundams for people. I built my first anime figure a couple weeks ago, the Supersonico, which I was really happy with. The client seems to be happy with it, and he's actually letting me hold on to it for another 5 months to take it to Wonderfest, so I can enter into Wonderfest, which is really cool of him. So I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I hold on to your kit for like 6 more months so I can take it to Wonderfest?" He's like, "Yeah, that's cool." So thank you to him for that. That's very nice. So yeah, I try to build my own server every once in a while. So understand that I may take a break from your project and actually do something for myself. That's kind of why I like the figures, because I can crank them out. The ones I've been doing relatively quick. Now I have a few that I've been working on that are a lot more involved. Like a little bust like this big, I can get that done in a couple days. If it's the prep work's minimal, I can paint it pretty quick. But anyway, just a little comment on commissions. Don't be surprised if you get a quote for a 1/72 Sinanju that's $1,800 or higher. I mean, that's just what it takes to build it. There's another gentleman on here, Tony, who's building one right now, and he can vouch for me that it's a lot of work. And that's I'm not even going full bore on this kit. I'm not like the parts of the frame that you can see, I'll paint in detail. But you could go to town just on the frame. I mean, I could spend 100 hours on the frame alone if you wanted it fully detailed, armor magnetized to come on and off. This is just simply armor glued on, really nice paint job, 175 hours. I mean, I think I put in last week for the holidays, I spent 3 days wet sanding. That was about 24 hours worth of work, just wet sanding. I probably put in a good 60 hours over the holidays just on prep work of this kit. That included getting it in primer, wet sanding it, priming again, getting rid of any imperfections. So yeah, 60 hours just to get just prep work. When I did my spraying, live whatever of spraying primer, I mean, it took me 4 hours to put primer just on the armor. So you're looking at, you know, these kits take, you know, a couple hundred hours to build, to do them right, and to make them look good. So anyone who's watching and is interested in having me build something, feel free to shoot me a note. I'm more than happy to tell you what I think it'll cost. And like I said, basically, as far as G-System kits, I'm really familiar with all of their kits except for like the 5-story stuff, 5-star story, because I've only owned one of them, and it's I don't know what it take to build that. My guy sent me a note yesterday. He's got the 135th COG, which is a big kit, and another one. I forgot what it was. And so if you can send me pictures of it and the instructions, I can give you an idea what I think it's going to cost, and that's what the quote is. And my quotes don't expire. You know, once I give you a quote, that's what it is. I don't like, hey, 6 months later, my price has gone up. Now it's going to cost this. If I quote you a price, that's what it is. I'm not going to raise it on you. Now, if I do get into a project and you start changing things, and you want, hey, I want more of this, more of that, then the price will probably change. But pretty much, I forgot what I quoted this guy. He paid for this. He paid for this last year, actually last December. He paid for this build. So super cool client. Anyway, that's my thoughts on commissions. You know, pay your artists what they're worth. If you want someone to do some work for you, you're paying. You know, there's other guys that do commissions, and they probably do it cheaper. You know, if that's what you want, hire them. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But make sure you feel like you're getting your money's worth. Make sure you're hiring someone who you believe can do the work that you want them to do, because nothing's worse than hiring someone to do something and you expect one thing and then you get something else, especially on a collectible or something like this where it's not a necessity, it's a luxury type item, and it's just something that's going to sit on your shelf that you can enjoy and look at. You know, that's a luxury. A lot of people aren't going to just, you know, want to spend, you know, $500 on a kit and then spend another, you know, $2,000 to have someone build it. But the guys who appreciate the art form and the work that goes into it, they're willing to do it. And I'm lucky to have a few of those guys. So that's my little take on commissions and stuff. And just announce that I've raised my rates $2.50 after 7 years of doing commissions. I think I deserve a raise. So I'll probably, you know, just raising it that little bit, that makes a difference. You know, if it's $100, if it's $100 building, it's $250 extra than what I would have been a year ago. But I think I'm worth it, and I think I can demand a slightly higher price. There's a guy on YouTube, Simon Merks, who does nothing but Star Trek stuff, and his bills go into tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, he does that for a living. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope someone watches this, and if you have any comments or thoughts on commissions and stuff, let me know. Otherwise, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.